Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pasha. It's a channel of Free People Flashback. Welcome to our broadcast. And traditionally, first question: do you hear me good or no? Who don't know? We every broadcast just to check our sounds and how do you see me uh, with our viewers, because some part can't see, some part can hear, and something like this. But MC is that always good. MC pluses. Hello, my dears. MC a lot of messages that now operator Starsky 2 streaming. Sorry that I'm a choose a little bit the wrong time. Yeah, it's my mistake, but I can streaming only when I have time for it. Sorry, my dears. A lot of people here now. Only we had only 3 minutes of broadcast and 53 viewers. It's beautiful. And you can see traditionally pinned message with a question. We tried function couple broadcasts ago, and I'm seeing that questions function very good. It will be more comfortable for you and for me, because when I'm check chat with your questions, I can skip something, I can see something, I can skip important or interest questions. But if you wanna ask something, just write message in a question function. It's on a app your chat. You just push on a blue button and can give your question, and the two pinned message, it's requisite for supporting our channel. For supporting our channel, you can use two services. It's a PayPal and buy me a coffee. And we are starting our broadcast, my dears. And traditionally we started our broadcast from a number of Russian losses, and for today, we have number of Russian losses. It's 191,000 Russian soldiers. 191,000 Russian soldiers. It's a number so close to 200,000, and it's very good result. Thanks for Armed Forces of Ukraine, thanks for National Guard and other armed services of Ukraine. We had we have a very big result. I think that 200,000 will be so soon. I think it will be so soon because counteroffensive so close, because general staff promise counteroffensive so soon, and I think numbers of Russian losses will be only increasing. So yes, it was a once of good news, and I should say about the bad news. On a preview of my broadcast, you can see photo. It's a photo from previous terroristic act of Russian forces, again Russian missile, and again in civilian Ukrainian city. I can show it photo again for you. It's incident happened in Uman, Cherkasy region. It's Ukraine, so close to the Kiev. It's like a neighbor city to the Kiev, and Russian hit in a civilian building, and we do had the losses, and we lose 23 civilian people, and this number include 5 children. For this moment, emergency service find only 22 body and 1 woman's. For this moment, emergency service don't find. Now they looking for body of this woman. Yes, and we can see that again. Russia continue terroristic attack, and now it's attack on a Cherkasy region. They understand that our air defense system in Kyiv is so strong. We upgrade air defense system on every city of Ukraine. It doesn't matter it's capital or small city, but general staff said about this incident that this missile was not a typical missile like a previous, and this missile was made with a new technology and with new navigation devices, and I don't know, it's like a new type of missile. So yes, and Russia every day try to find new types how they can distribute Ukrainian civilian people. They try to shoot in the west regions of Ukraine, south, east, north. It doesn't matter for Russian. I think that they doesn't understand that if they will destroy civilian infrastructure in Ukraine, it's not called revolution in Ukraine. Ukrainian will be more angry on Russia, and they don't understand what they do when they kill our civilian Ukrainian men, Ukrainian women who on a service now, who on active service, who on a front line. They will make revenge. We will not cry so long. We will not change our opinion about Russia. We understand that Russia just coming in Ukraine like invaders, like occupants, and when they do this terroristic attacks, they try to change our opinion about Russia. They try to influence on us, but no. Ukrainian soldiers, Ukrainian civilian, just will made more revenge. And every missile in a civilian city, it's more donates, it's more support on Ukrainian army, and more angry Ukrainian soldiers. I think that if we will fight more than 1 year in the future, we will be like a demons or like devils, because we cannot do nothing when Russia just taking our civilian city, and it's a real true. So yes, and I'm repeat again, another picture is terroristic act in Uman, Cherkasy region. And we had 23 victims here. 22 body was funded by emergency service, and now emergency service looking for 1 body. And this number of 23 victims include 5 childrens, 5 small childrens. Yeah, and we continue our broadcast with the next topic, with the next news, and this news about Mr. Prigozhin. I think I'm not so long time don't hear about Ramzan Kadyrov, but I'm so often hear about this man, about Prigozhin. He like a new media sources, he like a new source for meme. in Ukraine, and he like a once of the big influencer in Russia, I think. Maybe he second after president of Russia, I don't know, because Russian civilian doesn't trust the Minister of Defense. Russian civilian doesn't trust to his government. They more trust to the Wagner leader, to Yevgeny Prigozhin. And Yevgeny Prigozhin, do you know this person? We had a period when Wagner just coming on the front line. At firstly with the prisoners, we so often discuss about him before, but now he give a new opinion, he give a new situation report for today, and he said that he is scared. He said that he is scared because he wait a big Ukrainian offensive. He wait a counteroffensive. He don't know when it will be and where it will be, but he said, Evgeny Prigozhin said that it will be very, very dangerous for the all Russian armed forces on the Ukrainian territory. And yes, he's right. He is right because nothing matter if we attack on the Donbass region, on the Kherson region, or the Crimea region. Our prognosis, all offensive activities will be so successful because Russian soldiers now had a very, very bad morale. Thanks for the good informational influence, thanks for Prigozhin too, who said a lot about Ukrainian offensive. Every Russian soldiers wait this offensive, every Russian soldier scared. And we had a very interesting situation on front line. It was 3 weeks ago, and don't remember, in one of our videos we told about it, when our soldiers do assault activities, when they try to assault Russian position near Bakhmut, and Russian just start disengaging, they just start leave. Russian commanders report to more high level that Ukrainian soldiers start massive attack. Ukrainian soldiers start massive offensive, but it were just a platoon, maybe a little bit more than platoon. But number of Ukrainian soldiers who assaulted position was no more than 35 soldiers. Yes, it's a max number what assaulted this position. But Russians start disengaging, and on a Russian signal, on a Russian radio station, we can hear that they crying that Ukrainians start counteroffensive, we should disengage, and something like this. And what this means? It means that they have a very, very bad moral. They don't want to fight in a defense. They don't want to fight in a ditch, in a trench. They can attack, yes, because it's more active or something like this. And they cannot avoid attack because we heard a lot of stories when a military police arrested a guy who don't want to go to assault. I should translate this word. One moment, my dear. And Russian commanders to beat soldier who try to avoid offensive or something like this, and it's a very, very, very good influence on his moral. I mean, not good for him. Yes, it's good for Ukraine because if Russian commander say to his infantry, you should go to Zolt, you have no choice, you should go, no, and that's all. Yeah, and it means that soldier, if he survive in this assault, he will not trust to his commander, because Russian soldier will understand that commander just use him like just a meat for occupying Ukrainian position, or just a finding for searching fire position or something like this, and it's very very important. I think for us that his soldiers doesn't trust to his commanders. And I'm just read last news. I'm just read last news, and I'm find interesting news that Russian soldiers who on the front line now have a very very big problem with alcohol. For example, in a Wagner, they use drugs. Yes, they doesn't use alcohol. By I don't know, by his story, they not alcoholics, they like a professional soldier or something like this. And so interesting that the Wagner unit made a checkpoint in the rear of Donbass, in a Donetsk, in a Luhansk. They stops Russian soldiers, Russian columns, and if they find alcohol, vodka, or something like this, they just punish his soldiers. They call to commander, and now on a Donbass rear they fight against alcohol, because alcohol is a too very big influence on his moral and on his unit. All we remember how Russian mobilized soldier on a polygon, on a field training, just kill his mates, kill his friends, because the soldier was just a drunk. Yes, alcohol problem in army, it's a very very big problem. And why we in Ukraine, for example, in a infantry unit we had a dry law in a front line. Why it's important? Because on a front line, you respond for your friends, you respond for your men, and if you are fucking drunk, you can't fight, you can't control, you cannot service on a post. And if you are fucking drunk, your mates, your friends, in a very very dangerous situation, because now you not a unit, you're not a combat unit, you just a piece of shit who is drunk. And we do punish soldiers who have bad habits from his civilian life, but in Ukraine we had a lot of limits about alcohol in the army. And administrative punishment we do have. But what about Russian punishments? I'm just find interesting article how they punish soldiers with alcohol, and it's a whole for punish. When Russian soldiers drunk, commander just drop soldiers in this hole in the ground without water, without food, and soldiers should a lot time sit in this hole. And when he will be okay, commander just insert from this hole, and he can continue his fight. But But interesting fact about this hall, it's a hall not only for the Russian drunk soldiers. We can understand that Russian use this hall and for Ukrainian soldiers too, for Ukrainian captured soldiers, and this hall for victimization, for the Russian cruelty. They just drop Ukrainian soldiers in this hole too, and they just are mocking on Ukrainian soldiers. And its hole, it's like a small prison on a front line, and Ukrainian policemen and Ukrainian soldiers who liberated territory like a Kharkiv or Kherson find this hole, and they find a dead body in this hole. This hole, it was like a prison, I don't know. Yes, like a small prison underground. And yes, two types of using this hole. And couple minutes for the answer on your question. Who don't remember last first broadcast? I'm using new function. It's function questions. You can see this function on the top of your chat, our message with a requisite. You should just push on this message and write your question, and I will see it in a separate chat, and I can answer on the question. For me, for example, it's more comfortable because I can lose interesting question in our chat, because our chat, thanks for you, my dears, very, very active, and we have a lot messages, and for the cooperation, just send messages and questions chat, and I'm answer on your message. And I'm see first question. I'm watched this question before I'm start broadcast. Sorry, I cannot see a nickname who asked this question. Who gives this question? I'm just trying to find it in a general chat. If it's Borzetville gives this question, and this question was about symbol of our brigade, symbol or insania, or something like this. Yes, we have personal symbol of our brigade. Who doesn't know, it's a Rapid Reaction Brigade of the National Guard, and we have our own symbol, our personal symbol, and you can see it on your screens. It looks like a Ukrainian symbol, but formed from a NATO symbol. It's a combined symbol, I think. Yeah, it's answer on this question. Who doesn't know about our brigade, about our unit, and who doesn't know about insignia of our brigade? Yes, it's a trezub with NATO. Yes, Borzetville. Thanks for the question. It's can be interesting and useful for the people who doesn't know about our brigade and who doesn't know about our symbols, why we combined NATO and Ukrainian Trezub. Because when our brigade was formed, was making 7 or 8 yet in 2016 year. Our brigade, it was a first brigade in Ukraine who should be worked on a NATO standards with ASG stuff, with NATO training standards, with a NATO weapon, and with a NATO salaries. And yes, we were like an experimental brigade, and our symbol was choose mixing NATO symbol and Trezub, and I think this symbol very good influence on our unit, because in my opinion, and it's my personal opinion, based on my own experience, because I'm so not only here. I think that our brigade it's most experienced and most strange brigade in all National Guard, but it's only my opinion. But I know what about it told. And yeah, so popular and often question. How are you? How are Max? We're okay. My dear, if I have broadcast, I'm okay. It's 100%. If I will be not okay, I will have not a broadcast. It's so easy. Yes, and if I have a broadcast, if I'm smiling, I'm good. If not, you can understand that I'm not okay if I will have not broadcast more than 2 weeks, I think, because I'm trying to find time for broadcast once on a week minimum, yes, but it's a second broadcast for this week, because now I'm on a Kiev, because we're coming to Kiev for the small rest and took new devices for our work, like a rearmament. Yes, and now I have time for it, and I'm streaming for you, my dear. When I have not, I'm not streaming. But if you see me on a live stream, it means that I am okay and always good. Thanks. For Max Life, you can follow to his text. Yes. His messages on our page and our community. Yes, he write a lot, but his life here is okay. He is not okay. He just share his emotion. I am sharing my emotions through the stream. He share his emotion through the messages, and I'm not say hello to our friends. First, we all talked with you, aka Crud. Hello, Miriam Ward. Murray Duncan. Murray Duncan, you are come to the my stream. Starsky done his stream and you come to my, or you just change it? Or you just choose my? Thanks that you are coming, and I'm see that Ellie do here, and oh yes, a lot of messages, and and Kellen done too. Hello. Yes, it's guys. I'm just say names of the guys who give a very big activity on every hour broadcast. I know that we have more active guys, but I'm skipping a lot of messages. Sorry. I will try to remember all activity, guys, on our broadcast. Thanks for your activity, my dears, and don't forget that you can support our channel, and you can use two services for it. It's PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee. And from the last broadcast that Mark's brother now will going to the front line, and if you support our channel, you can support this man because he need a more high quality equipment that he have now. Yes, and Max will support him with it. And I'm understand what he's mean, but pet. I'm not a Max pet. I'm like pets, but I have one. I don't know how it translate. I'm just translate this word. And yes, and in my opinion, we can't have pets because once animal in our house, it will be me. We doesn't living in a good environment. We not living in a house a long time, and we cannot have pets because we can leave from a house and come back after a long time, and I think that our pets will be sad. Yes. And I'm disagree pet, but I'm like it, but I'm disagree it. Not yet. When war is done, when I will be live not in a small flat, or we will not live in a fucking blindage or ditch or trench, yes, maybe we can have pets. I can, and he have. But when we every day changing our shelter, pet, dog or cat, it's a bad idea, I think. And I understand what you're asking about pets. And say a message from Murray Duncan. I came from Starsky stream 2 years to support you. I can watch Starsky later. Thanks, Murray, that you are come to our broadcast. Oh, sends my love to Starsky from my broadcast. It's a good communication between the two broadcasts because one auditory on a two broadcasts. Andrew Starsky, sorry, I don't wanna steal your soldier. Sorry, I don't wanna steal your people on my broadcast. Sorry, me to say hello for Starsky. Say hello from me to him, please. And we are continue our broadcast, and I wanna answer a question. What I'm see on a question function on our broadcast. Charlie Manson. Interest question about Georgia. Pasha, do you think that when Ukraine wins, many Ukrainian fighters will go and help Georgia? So yeah, now interesting. We couple 1 years ago when Russia invaded in Ukraine. In Ukraine was formed interesting volunteers community. Yes, and biggest part of these volunteers, they wanna fight against occupants, against Russia. And for example, in Ukraine we see Georgian who fight for Ukraine, Chechens, uh, Americans, Europeans, Asians, Aussie, doesn't matter. We see a lot of foreigners who fight for Ukraine. I think when Russia will be defeated in Ukraine, a lot of Ukrainian ex-soldier who will retired from the service, they can go like a volunteers. I think that yes, because if you don't know, in the first Chechen wars, in a Johar Dudayev army, they have a squad of Ukrainian volunteers, and Ukrainian fight during Chechen wars for the Republic Ichkeria. And yes, I think that a lot of volunteers will go to the Georgia. But it will be only if a Georgian people will be needed, because we see interesting situation in Georgia when population, nation against Russia, but government doesn't agree, and government try to avoid civilian things, yes, and only if in Georgia will started something like a war against Russia, war against occupants. But I hope that this war will be last war. War in Ukraine will be last war on this continent, on Europe, and I hope that in Georgia will not happen at same situation. I hope that when Russia will be defeated, country like Russia will be ruined totally, and all territory now under Russian control and under Russia occupation will come back to his nature country. And yes, I hope that my answer was so detailed and you are hear what were interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm checking your questions. And I'm a see question from the Kim C. Question. We hear they are running low of missile and struggle to manufacture are the poorer quality. There seems to be a lot of unexploded bombs. So we know that for the time of the war, Russia used a lot of the missile, maybe more than 70%, maybe more. We don't know because on a Russian storage, non-counted number of missile and shit, something like this. We should understand that Russia have a lot of metal, but what's about quality? For example, when on our direct front line, Russia used artillery ammo of two very fresh artillery ammo. It was made in 2023, it's this year. Russian artillerists crying that its ammo have low quality, powder have low quality, or something like this. But we should understand that it's artillery ammunition. It's a big artillery sheet, and doesn't matter if it's a hit in our territory, explode or not explode. It's make some damage, and very important. Don't forget about it. But I think that I understand that they have not unlimited numbers of his missile or bombs, but I think that they have lots, and we can see dynamics, how often Russian do missile attack, how often they do bombing. 1 year ago they do it more often. For example, who doesn't remember, in autumn when General Surovikin is coming to the military government, he show for Ukraine that he is coming and he started his service from a massive missile attack. It was not less than 100 missile on different Ukrainian city. And yes, and they every Monday they launch not less than 19 missile. Now they not use so a lot. They can use 20 missiles per week, for example. Yes, to in any targets, and because our anti-air defense working so good. And I think they have some economy, because if they lose all his missile, it will be very very bad for his strategical reasons, because no one country cannot lose all his missiles ammo. It's very very dangerous for this country. I think they save couple missile. And I'm just looking for your question. And I'm see question from the Julie Rain. Hey, Batman, if you are on a broadcast, it's a question about you. And question from the Julie Rain. Is call sign Batman fighting in a Bakhmut right now? Do you work with him? I'm work with him not yet, but we are owners of Wingate Hazards project. Yes, and I will work with him in this project. And yes, we fight with him before, but now I not with him, because now I'm work separate in my brigade. Yes, he is fight now, but I think that he can say it more detail personally. I cannot give extra redundant information about him. I think that if he wanna, he answer on this question. And in general chat, last message I see question: are there any NATO tanks on the front line yet? Leopards coming in Ukraine. I'm personally doesn't see it on the front line, because front line very very big. But for the last time I see a lot of photo with NATO tank. But I don't know, it was photo from a polygon or photo from frontline. I think that we can see it a little bit more. nickname Ukraina ponad uсе. Thanks for this nickname. And question: is it possible for Ukraine to cross our Dnipro and land on the other side with vehicles? Thanks you for the stream, Pasha. Okay, thanks for the question, Ukraina ponad uсе. And it's not my level of answering this question, but I personally know how difficult forcing river. It's unreal difficult, because when I'm a fight in a Kiev near Irpinka river, it was not so big river like a Dnipro. Dnipro is a very very big. Irpinka was small, and Russia do a lot of trying to make a pontoons bridge, but they do it unsuccessful. They made the pontoons bridges for the moving with a vehicle, but no one times they not do it successful. And Dnipro more bigger. Dnipro is a very big river, and I think that if we're talking about Kherson, we should find other way for the liberation of Kherson. We can use only bridges or ground ways, because it's a very very crazy idea to assault in through the river. But it's only my opinion. Maybe armed forces have some devices for very successful movers through the river. I don't know, maybe a river fleet or something like this. But I think it will be very very difficult. And we have forces on the left side of Ukraine. Don't forget about Zaporizhia, about other city who are on the left side. And yes, I think that if we do very very big ground offensive, Russian soldiers just leave from this side of Kherson, what side now under occupation. Question from the board at will. Will Winged Hussar project have content in English language or only Polish? No, it will be only English project. Only English, not Polish. And a question from the DPL. Do you think Russia will mobilize again soon? People say Putin is afraid of mobilizing again. My dear, maybe it will be news for you. Maybe it will be news, but mobilization in Russia doesn't done for this moment, and mobilization in Russia continues now for this moment. And he just took a small parts of people. He mobilized small numbers of people, not so global like a first day of mobilization. Yes, because he is scared. We understand that Russian people it's a slaves, yes, and they cannot protest or something like this. But Putin little bit scared because it's have a very very bad influence on inside Russia. But mobilization doesn't done. I am watched Russian news, and I am see that Russia will be called conscript to the service but we understand that conscriptors do fight in Russia. Conscriptors do invaders, biggest part of conscriptors, and it's a very small way from conscriptor to contract soldier. So I think that yes, he will not make a big wave of mobilization, but he continues previous mobilization. We should understand it. He doesn't done it. And I'm just looking for your question. So for this, Krim, my dear land, dreamland. Do you wanna see what's happening in Crimea? Not so long. Not. I'm sorry. I'm just to translate this phrase. Sorry. Not so long ago. Do you know what's happened in Sevastopol? In Sevastopol, бавовна. Oil storage is born in Sevastopol. Oil storages. Yes, thanks for answer, Susa. And small way from the contract soldier of terror Russia to body bag. It's a very, very good answer. Thanks. Yeah, it's true. It's real. 100%. Yes, in Sevastopol now бавовна. Yeah, I think in Crimea they do have air siren. Because Crimea it's Ukraine. Question from Dismay. Have you taken any prisoners and how do they react when you capture them? Love the stream. Personally, I am not captured no one's soldiers. And our guys do it not so often, not a front line, but I'm talked with the captured soldiers, I'm talked with the captured from DNR, I'm talked with captured from the Russia, and how they feel. I can say that they feel fear, and they are confused. Yes, but will be captured by Ukrainian soldier. It's best way for Russia, for Russian. I'm saying, because in Ukraine prison, good environment in Ukraine prison, good food. Yes, they not anorexic like a Ukrainian soldier in a Russian prison, and they confused by. But I'm saying that they are happy that they was captured, because they have only two way, only black bag or Ukrainian prison. Question from the Murray Duncan. One moment. Pasha, is a Tartar ditch on a Perikop Isthmus still there? If so, will it be a factor on retaking Crimea? I cannot say so detailed information about the lands, about ground near Crimea, but for me, it's a little bit difficult imagination how will be a liberation of Crimea. You know, I'm a hope and I'm a believe on an interesting scenario when Ukrainian will do it by like a special forces operation or something like this. I think it will not be a very big infantry offensive if we destroy our old supply ways in Crimea, if we cut Crimea from the ground, from the continent, if we give only one way to disengage from Crimea, I think that Russia will do it. They will disengage. Because once of main Russian feature, it's that they don't wanna fight for this ground. They doesn't have motivation for fight here. So and I hope that Russia just disengaged from Crimea. For me, it's very very difficult. Imagine in my small brain how we will offensive on a Crimea. But I think that it will be very very interesting and difficult operation. Deeple Paul, right? Cut the Kerch bridge, block the land bridge, and make Rim untenable. Yes, you are right, and we just give one way for the Russian for disengaging, for leaving from the island without armored vehicle, only on his fucking cars, and I think it will be good. But I can't talking about it. I cannot thinking about it because I can imagination now territory on Crimea, because it's territory not under fully control more than 1 year. I'm in ground line neighbor to Crimea, and I don't know what's happened with the ground. I don't know what's with a Perikop now, and I think that always be good. Sorry, I'm just lose my mind. Sorry, lose my scene. I'm gonna see a new question. I cannot see new question in a question functions. Just two. Good morning from Melbourne, Victoria Oblast. It's freezing here this morning, 9 Celsius. I hope it's a lot warmer in Bandarland. Is there anticipation in the ranks about the upcoming offensive? Say hello, Melbourne, Victoria. It's a Johnny A. Jones right message. Spirit of offensive in our hearts. Really, we waited, but we understand that offensive it will be very, very difficult operation, and our command high com thinking and planning this operation so long. We wait, and this big offensive, it's like hope for Ukrainian soldier and for Ukraine. I think that yes, we feel it's offensive in our heart, but don't feel it by our boots on the ground. And the question from the Charlie Manson. Did the drones that hit the oil storage have explosive in them, or just cigarettes and vodka to let the Russian do the rest? All interesting Bavovna operation in Russian territory, in Crimea territory. it's a very interesting operation, and mm, we have not enough information, because the biggest part of information in just Russian propagandon's things and Russian propagandon's opinion. Maybe it's real, was a cigarette or extra bottle of vodka. Maybe it was a drone with explosive materials. We don't know about it, and we will wait a report from the General Intelligence Service. Yeah, but smoking, it's a bad habit. I'm smoking, I know that it's a bad habit. Selena, flashback. Do you think Prigozhin will leave Bakhmut if he doesn't get ammunition as rated? I hope so, then the airline will collapse. My dears, Mr. Prigozhin crying a long time that he doesn't have artillery ammo, see, he doesn't have ammunition, grenades, and something like this. He crying a long time, more than 3 months. But they fight. They fight now. And I think they will leave not so quickly and not so fast, because Wagner, it's one of successful units in a Russian army in general on all front line now. I think that he will disengage it not so quickly. I think that he so long time will be on the front line, because all understand that the Wagner, it's very successful unit. It's very successful, more successful than just the infantry or just a Russian army. And my dears, don't forget, you in our chat you have two blue message on the up, on the top. It's a message with the question functions. If you push on this function, you can give me a question and I will see your question in a separate menu. Yes, and I will answer on your question. And second blue message, it's links on our support service. If you wanna support our channel, you can use PayPal or Buy Me a Coffee services. It's very important for us, because thanks for my long tongue, Russian trolls and Russian faggot just report on our channel and we lose monetization. We had a lot of reason from a lot of Russian report, and now we lose monetization on YouTube. Sources for our support for donating you can see on a chat. It's a blue message. It's PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee in describe on this broadcast. I don't know, it's from left side or from right side, and under my face on your screens it's PayPal and our Buy Me a Coffee account. Thanks, and we are continue. I'm seeing new messages in a message function. My words about this blue peanut message just work. Beautiful. Oh, I'm seeing a lot. And Johnny A. Jones. Pasha, I missed the start of the stream. Are you back in Kiev? Oh, and stop smoking. It will kill you. Russian can kill me, but cigarette will do it a very long time. I'm thinking about stop smoking, but not yet. I think it's useful for my health, for my mental health. And yes, I'm back to the Kiev. I don't know on a half time, on a half period, but I'm back in Kiev, and Max 2 we have a small rest, but we are on a service. I think in a short time we go to the Donbass again. and John and Murray Duncan. Oh, it's a personal question. My dears, sometimes I'm seeing that personal life and talk when we're talking about Ukraine, about culture, about just a life, it's more interesting than war and politics. But yes, it's more interesting than war and politics because Ukraine, it's a very interesting country. Maybe when war is done, I made a separate project and show you other side of Ukraine, but not today. And a question from Murray Duncan: how is your mother, Pasha? I hope you managed to visit here. Yeah, I visited my mother 1 week ago. She is okay. We will make a renovation in our house in village because war was so close to our house, and we will change the windows and something like this. But my mother is okay and always beautiful, always good. She was happy that I am come back, that I'm alive. Always got thanks for the question. And a question from the Borstville. Uh, ah, sorry, I'm just make small mistake. Sorry. Message from the Borsed Wheel. Did you ever think you would be fighting like you are now? When you were younger, did you think you would be the hero that, that you are now? Thanks. It's I appreciate your words. Thanks. It's a very very sweet words, a very sweet message. But I can't say that I am here. Yes, because we had the infantry. They more useful. They fight more brutally, and they fight more effective. I cannot say that I'm hero. And when I was young, maybe when I was 15 or 16, I understand that in the future we will fight against Russia. I understand it. I'm understanding that so soon Russia do something like this, like they do 1 years ago, because it's a typical Russian scenario. At first they just got parts of our country, and after it they do a big invasion. Yes, I think that I have things that I will fight against Russia, and from 15 years I'm just sewing, and I think that yes, personally, I was ready to the war against Russia, and yeah, thanks for the question. Miriam Ward. Hello, Miriam. Sorry, can see question function. How are Ukrainian farmers coping? Are they able to continue with farming? Uh, Difficult situation with Ukrainian farmers, because ground feels so dangerous now in Ukraine. A lot of landmines, a lot of unexploded ammunition, and it's very difficult time for the farmers. And I'm trying to show video for you how now working Ukrainian farmers. One moment. Український. I'm see very interesting video how Ukrainian farmer on a mining territory work in a field. Sorry for the long pause. I can't find this video. Couple days ago, I watched video. I cannot find it. Sorry. I watched video how Ukrainian farmers work in the field with unpiloted tractors. Here, he just made special sheet on a forward of tractor, and he just working on a field because if man will be in crew of tractor, it's very dangerous for his life. Yes, and farmers working, but very difficult. I think we in this year we will have not a lot rain, little bit more than on a previous year because we come back a big part of our territory, but it still will be very difficult year for our farmers there. Yes, it's a remote controlled tractor. I can't find this video, but but it's not like a John Deere, yeah, combined John Deere with remote control. It's a handmade remote control tractor. Because he must work on a field, he must do it. If he will not do it, a lot of people will be hungry, because no grain, no bread, no grain, no money in Ukraine. It's very simple. And I will check next your questions. Johnny Jones, Pasha, you need to get a dog so you can complete with Starsky. He just uses the popularity of Huge to gain viewers. No, I think that I will not be exploited small doggy for the gain viewers. Sorry. I'm love dogs. I'm like dogs. Not love, I'm like dogs. Nurse scene, the flashback. Do you like the Cossack song by Jerry Hale? I'm a like Jerry Hale. I'm voters for Jerry Hale when we choose singer who will be singing during next Eurovision, and I'm voted for the Jerry Hale. I'm like Jerry Hale because it's so young Ukrainian singer. She sing on Ukrainian language, and she's singing so good. Yes, I'm like Jerry Hale. I'm not doesn't understand how song you mean, but I like biggest part of Jerry Hale's song. Hey, and why I can't see RS? Hi Pasha, how are business doing in city of Kharkov? Are people returning slowly there, or are people afraid of spring offensive? RS, thanks for the question. Before war, Kharkiv it was a very, very big business platform. A lot of restaurants, a lot of corporation firms, a lot of parks. It was a very, very good, beautiful city. When I'm just every time when I'm come back to Kharkiv from the Kharkiv, it's like my motherland. I was happy because Kharkiv meet we with shine lights, with restaurants and other. But now Kharkiv so dark. Biggest part of the business, biggest part of the restaurants doesn't work now. People returning, but very, very slowly. Apartments for the rent in Kharkiv now very, very cheap because people scared and the biggest part of the business doesn't work. Center of city after 20 o'clock, after 8 o'clock, after 8 p.m. looks like a dead city, like a city ghost. And yes, Kharkiv now, I think maybe after half of year, maybe at summer, Kharkiv will reborn, but now it's not looks like a previous city. A lot of ruined building. It's so sad, really, because Kharkiv it's a beautiful city. It's my first best city in Ukraine. I think more better than Kiev, in my opinion. But now they looks like a dark ghost city. Uh, Johnny A. Jones, isn't Kharkiv known as a university city? Yeah, Kharkiv it's a city of the scientists and a city of students. And the biggest part of students live from Ukraine or live from Kharkiv. But at autumn they should come back to his study in a university. They should come back, and I hope when the students come back to the Kharkiv will be looks a little bit better, because economics of Kharkiv maybe on a 30% depends from the students. Yes, thanks for your questions, answers, comments, Johnny A. Jones. It's very important. Yes, Kharkiv is a student city, and it's very interesting. But biggest part of Kharkiv Park Town was made by architectures, Kharkiv architecture students. Beautiful city, beautiful university, and beautiful students. For me, more interesting girl students, not men students. And I can see your question, my dear. I hope that this format of broadcast interesting for you and good for you. I'm gonna try to. It's a third time when I'm streaming in this format. In this times, say it. Just write in a comment. It's good for you. It's interesting for you or no. But I'm just a finding type how I should be broadcast, because I think a lot of news stream it's not so interesting. Tinky Tinky, hello from Finlandia. Finlandia, hello. And it's very, very important for me. Your answer, your comment, your mark, it's very important. It's a trolls coming on our broadcast about American terrorism, Jesus terrorist. What's up, man? What are you writing? Uh, Cheryl Wortley, do you say you're part Tether? Yes, my by father line, by father line. Uh, my uh, yeah, my ancestors were Tatars, but I don't know my father, and I'm not so close to the Tatars cultures. But in my blood, maybe 50 Tatars percent, because I'm a little bit more darkest than a typical Ukrainian people. See a lot of good. See a lot of good answers on my question. I'm give question for you, and you answer, my dear. That this format is good, and this format is interesting. Thanks. I'm very happy that it's in interest, and yes, I think that it's beautiful because we can discuss it any your questions, any news, any events, what do you want, what's interesting for you, we can question, and I hope I have information about it and can answer it so with more detail. So, and you, my dears, don't forget support our channel. Links on a support service you can see on a chat and on describe our broadcast. And Ukraine Ponaduse asked Pasha, do you like Carlos Orchestra? I don't like Carlos personally because I doesn't like his style of his rap style. I don't like this rap style, but Kalush Orchestra, it's a very good, very interesting, very songs good group. Kalush Orchestra is a one love, but without Kalush. I don't like his style. I'm listening hip hop more than 10 years, Ukrainian hip hop, and I think the Kalush have a not interesting style because I'm Ukrainian and I'm not understand biggest part what he is saying. Mr. Anonymous, Dr. Anonymous, I hope rocket will reach your apartment. Thanks, Mr. Anonymous. Thanks. I'm like when my haters and trolls coming on our broadcast. Thanks for guys like Miss Dr. Anonymous. We lose our monetization. And yeah, thanks for your wishes, Dr. Anonymous. I hope you die from cancer. Last one. When you said you like country, Pasha was so impressed. I am not so a lot. I doesn't know so a lot a country singer, but Johnny Cash it's my favorite. And but yes, I'm like a lot of types of music, but uh, country is one love. And do you like Skovka? Yes, Skovka it's better than Kalush. Skovka have a more good voice, for example, and more interest text, more philosophy text. Murray Duncan said, having haters and trolls is good. It's mean you're being effective. Thanks. Yeah. I'm just to say that thanks for the guys like a Dr. Anonymous. We lose our monetization if numbers of this guy like a Dr. Anonymous will be more biggest, we can lose our channel. And yeah, my dear, in Ukraine 12:30. Tomorrow, Monday, I will go to the service. I'm very happy that I'm meet with you and this evening. Thanks for your activity on a broadcast. Sorry that I'm streaming in the same time with a Starsky. It was my mistake. I will not do it more. Please, sorry. And don't forget support our channel, my dears. If you wanna support Flashback UA and our unit, you have links on our PayPal and on our Buy Me a Coffee in a blue pinned message in a chat under my face and on a describe of this broadcast from a Zeus site or from a Zeus site, or if you use mobile phone here. And what are you drinking? I drink coffee and I have a new cap. Luck. Who doesn't see my new cap? Luck. Saint Patrick cap. Big, I think maybe more than half of liter, 700 grams, and it's okay for the broadcast, for my broadcast to 2 hour, because when I use small cap it's not enough and I should stand up and make a new coffee. So yes, I'm buy a big cup. Okay, my dear, thanks for your activities. I'm I'm season Starsky finished now. Me too wanna finish because tomorrow I should go to the service. I love Kharkiv, yes, because I was born. I was born in Kharkiv. Do you think you will ever travel to Australia or America or Canada? You know, you just Grund. Then it's you. Grund. I know this nickname. Danny. Danny, just the right process if it's you. Okay, my dears, I should check some. Grunt. Who are you, Grunt? You are Danny or no? My dear. I'm don't finished my broadcast before will have answer from a Grunt. Okay, I'm personally write to you on a messenger. Danny, yeah. Thanks, my dear. It's on our broadcast where with us was my very good friend, my teammate. It's a Viking, my Aussie volunteer, very good warrior. I am happy that you are coming in our broadcast and you were with us. But what are you say nothing? He say nothing during all broadcast, but when I wanna done our broadcast, you write something. Thanks, users. Thanks, my dear, for your activities. Thanks for your comments. Thanks that you support us, my dear. It's very, very important for us. And who doesn't subscribe on our channel? Subscribe on our channel. Who doesn't not push on a bell? Push on a bell, it's notification. If you turn on notification, you doesn't lose no one stream, no one broadcast. AMC have numbers of viewers increasing. AMC have numbers of viewers increasing. Maybe I can stream a little bit more on a 30 minutes. I think that yes, my dears, and I will. Okay, 30 minutes more. 30 minutes more, my dears. I will not go out. Thanks. Because I'm see plus 30 viewers. Plus 30 viewers. Beautiful. I see that operator Starsky done his broadcast, and a lot of people just coming on our broadcast. Welcome to our stream. Welcome to Flashback UA, my dears. I'm so happy to see you here. Thanks that you are coming. Today it were my mistake. Because I'm streaming in the same time with operator Starsky. I'm do it once before and I'm say no, I will not do it later, but I'm do it again. It's my mistake. Sorry, my dears. And I cannot control comments. More than 50 people just coming on our broadcast from a Starsky broadcast. Thanks that you're coming, and thanks that will continue a little bit. My dears, who doesn't know, who just coming now, we had a chat. If you wanna give a question in a chat, mark the flashback by orange color, and I see and I'm answering question. And we are using question function on the top of this chat. If you your question in a question functions, I will answer on your question 80% that I'm answering a question. I'm tired a little bit. So yes, I doesn't see your question, guys. My news material is done, and we just discussing somebody on our channel during our broadcast. Murray Duncan, streamer wars. Operator Starsky, it's a god of streaming. I can't fight against him because I will be defeated. Nah, not yet. Maybe when I will have 1 million subscriber, maybe, but not yet. He very, very strong. Nah, it will be so difficult. And we are a streaming brotherhood. We doesn't have a streaming war. So I'm see message about donation, about PayPal. If you see name Victor, don't worry about it. It's our PayPal, always okay, always good. And H, anybody, where is the question function? I'm see MC question function like administrator from the special button. I don't know how looking question function on your mobile phone, on your mobile devices. Sorry, I'm just to say that it's a blue message because I'm see blue message. Question from the AKA Croat 74. Hello Jeffrey. And question: when Ukraine is whole and free from terror, what role do you see Ukraine playing in NATO and Europe? At first, after war, I think that Ukraine will be one of the best armies of the world. Maybe top 10, it's 100%. But if not top 10, top 15, it's 100%. And I think in NATO, Ukraine can give a very, very big and high experienced peacekeepers contingent. At first, it will be very useful for United Nations and very useful for NATO because Ukrainian soldier after war will be ready to next war. Yeah, it's so sad, but it's real. We should our soldier with a post-traumatic syndrome. They will try to find a new war. Maybe somebody going to like a volunteer in other world's conflict. I don't know, but I think we will be very, very useful in a NATO contingent for any NATO operation. Yes, blue message with the questions. It's a blue message about donation. You can see two blue pinned message. At first, it's a question. If you push to this machine, you can give me a question and then answer on your question. I am 100% will see your question. And next pinned message, it's donation message with the links on our donation servers, like a PayPal, or Buy Me a Coffee. Don't forget to support us by PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee. It's very important for us, and we continue answering your question. And the deeper Paul give question: have you ever met or talking to Volodymyr Zolkin? Is he well known in Ukraine? Personally, me doesn't meet with a Volodymyr Zolkin. But Volodymyr Zolkin, it's a very, very great person in Ukraine. He talking with a Ukrainian captured, and he is owner of fund for Russian soldiers who wanna surrender, and they just making video with the captured Russian soldiers for showing it for Russian community. And who doesn't know who is Volodymyr Zolkin, just Google it, and I hope that you find subtitles. It's a very, very interesting person. It's Ukrainian blogger, not blogger, it's a organization owner. And Pavlograd, MC question about hits missile on Pavlograd. Pavlograd, it's Dnipro region, Dnipro Oblast. It's Dnipro. And threats. Is this Max or someone else who takes the photo in the channel? They are very good qualities and good. Biggest part of the posts it's Max photo when we talking about unit, about us, about life, when we talk about blog. But sometimes we use photo from media. Not so often, but sometimes we use. Uh, question from the trying daily. Does it matter that we can see out the windows next to you? Those windows, it doesn't matter. Sorry, my flag on the Donbass now, and I have not the beautiful Ukrainian background, and I'm just a streaming and a flat. And yes, I think it's. I'm told to the whole world that I'm living in a hostel, and I think it's not trouble. And you cannot see a lot because night and night. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired because night now, and you cannot see a lot. And I think it's a safety for me. Don't worry about it. Thanks for the question, Trindanely. Age. The flashback. If you have time, please explain different armbands colors with yellow, blue, and green. It's some kind of military fashion. Armband with any colors like a yellow, blue, or green. We use for identification our soldier. For example. Now we're using green, for example, yes, and in all media we show it. I don't worry that I'm told it, yes. In one period we use blue or yellow. It's like an identificator. It's so sad, but we sometimes using same camouflage with Russian, like for example, multicam or other European camouflages, and we should use armband stripe with any colors, and we change it because we should change it for our safety, because for example our Russian can use same stripes for the moving in our territory. I think that I'm very detail, very detail reported, but armbands. I hope that it was a good answer. And Grunt, right? Tell me stories about war. My dear, my stories about war. It's 100% stories with you. I'm an interesting person. What I can told you about war? You can told about war. 100 interest and crazy and maddest stories. It was with you, man. I cannot say something because after you, after our team, I have not something interest like in those time when we work like a fucking Reiki or something like this. Sorry, sorry, my dears. I'm just a sure answer on this question. He just kidding me. Ellie, is the ground drying out yet? It's defense from the territory because last days were rainy. but I think that ground not ready for the moving of heavy vehicle. I think we should wait a little bit. And M. Davis, hello, I am new. My question: do you like cat or dog? I'm saying that dog because dog it's a people friend. I'm like same and cat and dogs, but if I will buy pets, I think that I will buy dog because dog it's a friend, cat it's a commander. If you buy cat, you will be a slave for cat. If you buy dog, you will be friend for dog. So a lot messages, so a lot messages. I cannot choose question, my dears. I will check question function. Michael Michaels, when the counteroffensive starts, will you travel in armored vehicle? Michael, by my personal experience during offensive, I will be on a so far distance from an armored vehicle, and Grund, yes, Grund can say that it's a real true that if you infantryman, you should will be on a so far distance from APC because I had a couple stories with APC and I'm talking about it on Brandon's Ukraine Big channel. And yeah, hello Sam V, glad to see you here. And she give very intimate, very personal question. How names my OnlyFans account? My dear, I have not OnlyFans account, and I will not make it. I promise. But if you very good ask, I can download photo in my ammunition and then uniform. Like it's my multicam, it's my predator camera. Why? No, why you say that? No, you don't write, Sammy. Don't write. I'm not a liar. Nadine S. You need some rest, Pasha. You look very tired. Have a good and peaceful night. Much love. Thanks, my dear. EJ, IJD, you're going to ruin your value as Gigolo later on. Yeah, I am don't forget about Gigolo work, but I should choose a country where I will work like a Gigolo. Do you can me recommend me work where Gigolo job is a very popular. I am think I'm not so beautiful for the United States gigolo or good European country. Maybe I can work gigolo in Uzbekistan or something like this. Brighton's beach. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Lead us, how long is it training for all you new troops, volunteers, and mobilized? Not less than 3 months. Not period how long you should train. It's not less than 3 months. And my dears, I think that I should turn off our broadcast because I should go to sleep, because I should go to the servers tomorrow at morning. And my dear, thanks that you are coming. I'm sorry that I'm started broadcasting at the same time with operator Starsky. I hope that in next time I will not do it. If you want to support our project and our unit, just you can use PayPal and buy me a coffee. But my dears, I should go to the bed. Thanks for your activity. Thanks that you were on our broadcast. I'm very happy that you are coming on our broadcast. And who asked about Red Bull? Who asked about Red Bull? It's Advirestin. Advirist is in on our channel. I have Red Bull. Don't worry. it's for tomorrow. It's not for Advirestin. Red Bull. Red Bull not pay money for me. My dears, thanks for your activities. Good night who have night, good day who have day, good morning who have morning. Thanks, and see you later, my dears.